everybody, welcome to Scrappily Ever After. Today I'm going to show you how to make some super cute little keychain post-it note books. I just started making these for my craft shows. I haven't been in a craft show yet, but I just started making these so that when I'm in a craft show, I'm prepared for it. And I wanted to share it with you, so I'll show you how to make these. First thing you're going to need is a post-it notebook. These ones that I got here are 1.5 inches by 2 inches wide. And the first step you're going to need to do is you're going to need to make a hole in the top left corner, like as if you're reading it like a book, so that the pages open that way. Now, with my Crop-A-Dile, the pages are a little bit too thick, so I just took off a few sheets off the front cover, and then it slides into your Crop-A-Dile nice and easily. Okay, so you're just going to punch a hole in it in the top corner, top left corner. There we go. Okay, and the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need a piece of paper. So you're going to need your piece of paper to be just over 2 inches wide and just over 3¼ inches long, so that there's enough room for a little bit of an overhang, and at the same time it's not going to get really shabby and rough when you carry it around. Okay, so next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your post-it note book and you're just going to line it up with the bottom of your paper, and you're just going to take your bone folder and score. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. And score. And then you're going to fold it and crease it on both of the score lines that you just made. Okay, next thing, you're going to take your piece of paper, your post-it notebook, you're going to line it up inside again, and you're going to grab a pen. You're going to take it and you're going to draw it in the little circle that you just made. Then you take your Crop-A-Dile and you're just going to punch out the hole right where you just marked on that piece of paper. And then you can adhere your post-it notebook down. I'm just using ATG for mine. You can use whatever kind of adhesive as long as it's relatively strong, because you don't want these to fall apart. Okay. So then, after that part's done, you're going to take your pen once again, and from the back, you're going to put your pen in that hole. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit. And you're just going to mark on the front cover where you need to punch out a hole once again. And then when you close it up, your holes will all line up and you'll have a nice spot for your keychain. The next thing you're going to need to do is you want to make this stronger because it's quite flimsy if it's just paper. So I'm going to put an eyelet in there, and just to give it some strength when it's being used, because you don't want your keychain to rip through your piece of paper, because that's not very good. And then when you close it up, it looks a lot more finished and neat, like this. Okay, the next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need a way to keep this closed, because you don't want it to be flinging around when you have it opened up and your customers are showing it off and that kind of thing, because that's not very good. So you're going to take, I just cut a strip of paper, and I'm going to use it as a little belly band to wrap around my book and make it so that it's it can be closed easier. I'm just going to trim this because it's a little bit long. Okay, now, sorry. I mean, it's kind of messy looking. There we go. Okay, So you're going to take your belly band and you're just going to wrap it around like so. And just do it so that it's a rough estimate of what you're going to need. And then what I do is I go around and I'm just going to squeeze the little edges to pinch them so that you have a nice sharp corner on all the sides. And then grab my ATG and I'm just going to glue it just so that it can hold in place until I have it finished. Okay, one last step. Okay, I'm just going to trim this little paper off. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just add a little embellishment onto here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some little paper flowers and I'm going to punch a hole in them. Like so. And then I'm going to punch a hole in my belly band as well. And then we're going to take an eyelet and we're going to attach all of these pieces together. Okay. Like so. And then I'm just going to stick it in the crocodile. Okay, if I can get this to work. There we go, and then just punch it closed, like so, and then we have our little flower on there, and then we can close this up. Just like this, and then we are going to put on our keychain, and voila, there you go, keychain post-it note holder. I think it turns out pretty cute, don't you? If you have any questions or comments, or if you want to see more tutorials and other fun activities, go to www.scrapply-everafter.com and check me out. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day and happy scrapping!